Have you ever wondered what are the effects of having lice in your hair? It's a question that might make you shudder, but it's worth exploring. These tiny unseen pests have made a cozy home in human hair for centuries. There's a lot of misinformation out there about lice. Some believe they're a sign of poor hygiene or that they can spread disease. But guess what? Neither of these are true. So let's debunk some myths and get to know these tiny invaders better. Understanding the life cycle of lice can help us understand how they affect us. Let's begin with the egg stage. These tiny eggs, often called nits, are laid by adult female lice at the base of the hair shaft nearest the scalp. They're incredibly small, about the size of a knot in thread, and take about a week to hatch. Once the eggs hatch, the lice enter the nymph stage. These miniature immature lice must feed on human blood for survival. Over a span of 9 to 12 days, they undergo 3 molts, growing larger each time. Finally, we reach the adult stage. These grown lice are about the size of a sesame seed. They're tan to grayish white, and female lice are usually larger than males. Adult lice can live up to 30 days on a person's head, feeding on blood multiple times a day. Here's an interesting fact. A female louse can lay up to 6 eggs per day. So you can imagine how quickly a lice infestation can multiply and spread. It's also important to note that lice can't fly or jump, they can only crawl. So how do they spread? They move from head to head during close personal contact, which is why lice are common among children who often play in close proximity. Now that we know how they grow, let's dive into how they affect our scalp. Lice bites can make the scalp itchy and irritated. Now let's delve into why this happens. You see, these small pesky parasites are not just lounging around in your hair, they're actively feeding on your blood. The saliva they leave behind can cause an allergic reaction, leading to that maddening itchiness and irritation. And when you scratch to relieve the itch, it can often lead to another problem: infection. This is why it's important to avoid scratching, as difficult as it may be. But let's clear up a common misconception while we're at it. Lice are not a sign of poor hygiene. They're just as happy to set up shop in clean hair as they are in dirty hair. And while they might give you an itchy scalp, they do not spread disease. So, while they're annoying, they're not dangerous. But it's always better to treat them early to avoid discomfort. To sum up, lice are tiny pests that can cause discomfort but aren't harmful. These microscopic creatures live their entire life cycle on our scalp, feeding on our blood, which can lead to itching and irritation. However, they're not dangerous and don't spread disease. More importantly, they're not a symbol of poor hygiene, as they need blood to survive, regardless of whether it comes from someone who's clean or dirty. Remember, lice do not care whether you're clean or dirty, they simply need blood to survive. So keep a check on your scalp and treat them early if you find any.